Hello BookTube, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and today for my Saturday shelfie tour, I thought I'd show you one of my virtual shelves. I have a Nook that had been missing for about 2 years, I think. Late this summer, when I was going through some of the areas in my house that needed attention, I finally cleared off our desk here in our home office that had had some stacks of papers and files and things that needed attention, needed to be cleared off, put away, thrown away, whatever. And deep in the very deep in one of those stacks, I found my Nook, which I had been missing since somewhere in late 2015. I know that I had it sometime in 2015 because when I first started booktubing that year, I did Booktubeathon, and there's a novella on here that I read for 2015 Booktubeathon. But sometime after that, I misplaced it, and I was in the middle of some books that I've never finished, and quite a few games and apps that my daughter and I used to play on here. So I thought it'd be fun just to show you my Nook, and we'll see what's on it. Now, I'd almost kind of forgotten how to navigate it, but I've looked at it now a little bit in preparation for this video, just to kind of not go in too cold on this, because it is a little bit different than a Kindle, and I still can't even find if there's a backwards button. I just keep having to go back and hit the home button to get back to where I was. So I'm going to hit the home button, and then I'll show you. My screensaver here is the Full House. I believe my daughter Katie probably put that on here. And so I'll slide the little Nook across there. Now, I already tried filming this video once and got interrupted. So this is a book that my daughter Katie was supposed to read for Teen Book Club. She was probably in about the 6th grade. It's called Perfectly Dateless. It's the book one in the Universally Misunderstood series. And it's a contemporary romance, teen romance. And I think it may be kind of a Christian romance. I'm not sure. But it is definitely clean. And she didn't finish it. She has a hard time with contemporary books. She mostly is drawn to fantasy and dystopian and things like that. So she never finished it. I kept it on here because I thought I would read it eventually at some point, but she never did read it. So let's see if I can get back to my library now and go from the beginning. Now, the book I mentioned that I read for Booktubeathon is Love's Journey, and it's by Elizabeth Meadows. Not me, another Elizabeth Meadows. The challenge that year was to, or one of the challenges, was to read a book by an author that has your same initials. So I happened to find this little romance novella, or part one of a bigger book, that was written by someone with my same name. And as far as I can tell, she's not ever finished the book. This novella ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, and I would be really interested in reading the rest of the story if she ever finishes it. So that is on here. And then, let's see, I've got several samples. One book that I have, I just had a sample of on my Nook, and I eventually bought it for my Kindle, is a little novella by N.B. Ross called Miss Julia's Gift. This is part of the Miss Julia series, but it's just a little short book that was only ever published in ebook form, and it's a little Valentine story. So since I had lost my Nook, I eventually did buy it on Kindle and read it there. So I just had a sample on my Nook. Then going down here, another book we do have in its entirety, not just a sample, is Divergent on the Nook. I bought this for Katie because she was wanting to read it. I ended up reading it or listening to it on audio. Then she read this and was interested in reading more, and I eventually bought her the box set in physical form of the main 3 books. Eventually later I bought 4, which I don't think she ever read, but she did read all 3 of the main novels of Divergent. And then, what else? Here's another book that was Katie's. She downloaded this free, and it's like a 500-page book. It's a middle grade book, but then she got a little intimidated by it and never did finish it. It's Princess Callie and the Totally Amazing Talking Tiara, and it is by, I don't know if you can see that, it is by Daisy Piper, and it's a little kind of a fantasy. It says magically entertaining, so I'm guessing that if there's a talking tiara, then it must be a bit magical. So that's still on here, although neither of us have ever read it. There's a sample from a Dork Diaries book. I think she eventually read some of those in print. Oh, this is interesting. It's called The Alpine Path by Lucy Maud Montgomery, and it is only 12 pages. And I believe, if I can find the, let me get to the cover of it. I want you to see the cover. Well, it doesn't want to go back to the cover for some reason. I'm sorry. Anyway, it's The Alpine Path, and it is by Lucy Maud Montgomery, and it is a autobiography of her writing career. And I have read that. It's very short. And I think that was a free download as well. I've got a sample of The 100-Foot Journey. That was a book that our book club read, my local library book club, and I never read it. I didn't end up getting the book in time. I just looked at a sample and saw that it wasn't very short, and I think I had limited time at that time, and I always thought I would go back to it, and eventually I might. I just haven't at this point. Then one book I did read in its entirety. When I first got my Nook, I wanted to know exactly what all the features were, and I was not very good with this type of thing. And I can't seem to get the cover of it now, but I read the Nook Quick Start Guide. I read maybe even more than that. Yeah, here's another. I read all the user guides for my Nook. It's not showing me the cover now, but anyway, I wanted to know exactly what all it was capable of, and I read it from beginning to end, so I was kind of proud of that. Then I guess I need to go back and review that so that I can remember how to use this book, or how to use this Nook. Okay. Oh, this is the book that I was reading that I'm on page 143 of 228, and this was my walk around book. When I first got the Nook, I was so excited that I could walk and read in the dark. I know. See, I work at a theme park once a week, and the stage where I work is across the park from the parking lot. So a lot of times I work late at night, and I like to read and walk. You know, I can just carry a book and read and walk, and but you really can't do that at night. So when I got the Nook, I was so excited because I could read while I was walking. And the book I was reading is an Amish book. It's called A Time to Heal, and it's by Barbara Cameron. I looked it up today just to remember even if it was from a series. This was a free download. I remember getting it free, and it is the first of 4 books in a series. And it's the series is called Quilts of Lancaster County, and this is about a lady. She was a war correspondent, a journalist who was injured overseas, and her grandmother is Amish. So after she gets out of the hospital, she wants to kind of stay out of the limelight for a while, and so she goes to her grandmother's house to heal, and she gets reacquainted with a young Amish gentleman who is widowed now, and he was someone that she had a crush on when she was younger, when she had visited her grandmother when she was young. And so romance ensues, and then she has to make the decision if she wants to go back to her high-powered journalism life or if she wants to become Amish. And I'm at the point where she's still deciding. She's not really sure which direction she's going to go. So that's good so far, and I may go ahead and get that finished pretty soon. I don't know. I might save it till next year since my TBR is really packed. But I don't really have an ebook right now that I am reading, so maybe I will just pick that one back up. Then I have the first 3 Wolves of the Beyond books on here. I had forgotten that. I finished those all now. I do have some clutter and organizing books. I have 5 Days to a Clutter-Free House by Sandra Felton. Oh, see, all of these that I'm in the middle of, it won't let me go to the cover unless it's not going to go to the cover immediately or not long enough for me to show you. And then I'm going to lose my place, maybe. Let's see. Not that you really need to see the covers of all of them, but anyway, I enjoy Sandra Felton. She is the organizer lady. So I have 5 Days to a Clutter-Free House. And then a couple of others. The Reluctant Housewife's Guide to Couponing. I don't think I ever read that. A few other samples, Getting Yourself Organized by Anonymous. I have a sample of the New King James Bible. I don't think I ever bought the whole Bible on ebook. Here's one I did buy in its entirety. It is the Get Yourself Organized Project by Katie Lipp. I saw that book in print at the grocery store. There is, here in Florida, we have Publix, and they have some books that are published by a Christian publisher or distributor of, I don't know, it's a little section of books that usually they're by the deli or by the bathroom. And I saw this in print, and I came home and looked it up on my Nook, and it was a little bit cheaper on my Nook than to buy it in print. So it's the Get Yourself Organized Project. I think it's by Kathy Lipp. I'm sorry, I think I said Katie. Kathy Lipp. And I have read part of this, and I will definitely revisit this one. It says she's also the author of The Husband Project. So I guess she has lots of projects. And I also have an e-copy of Once Upon a Summer by Jeanette Oak. That is book 1 in Seasons of the Heart. I read all that series a long time ago. I would love to go back and read some, if not all, of the Jeanette Oak series books at some point. So that one might have been a free download or very inexpensive. And so I put that on here in case I ever wanted to start rereading that. I have another Sandra Felton book called Smart Organizing, Simple Strategies for Bringing Order to Your Home. I have that, and I'm not going to go to the cover because it just takes too long. I have a few scrapbook idea books, and that I just have samples of. I have Organizing for Life, Declutter Your Mind to Declutter Your World. That's another Sandra Felton book. I have read that, and I really like that one. This gives kind of the psychology of why we are disorganized, and I just think she's got some really good insights into that. All right, what else? And then a little novella called The World of Divergent. I think that was probably a free download. And then Fun Facts About Pets. I think this might have come with it. And it's a children's book about pets and animals. And that was something that Emily used to enjoy looking at. It's taking too long to go to the cover of that. Okay, and thinking of what Emily used to enjoy, there was an app on here that this is probably the thing I'm most excited to find, because it was a puzzle app that had some real simple puzzles that Emily loved to do. She would finish one and it would just automatically show her the next one, and she didn't have to start over or click anything. It's, once you turn it on, it just keeps going through these puzzles, and that would keep her busy for quite a while. It's called Shape Builder. And it's a great puzzle game for small kids. Now, my daughter is 16, but she plays and reads on a very, kindergarten, first grade level. And so this right here, Shape Builder, is great for younger kids. So it gives you the pieces and shows you the shapes where they go. And once you fit the pieces in, you just drag and put them in, then it will then show you what it is and give you the word for what it is. So there's an oboe, and I really, really like it. It goes through numbers, it goes through colors, and a lot of other different things, and it just keeps going in a loop, and I really like it. All right, next thing. So I'm not going to go through showing you all of the apps, just some of our favorites that I really did enjoy. I think I already mentioned Where's My Water, or maybe that was when I was trying to film this a while ago. Where's My Water was probably my favorite game on the Nook. And, oh, hi, there's me. It's put out by Disney, and it's this little alligator who is trying to take a shower down in the basement, down underground, and you have to make sure that the water gets to him. And his name is Swampy, and he's so cute. I did complete this game. I finished it and beat it and everything, and then we eventually, because Katie wanted to play it again, then we reset it and started over, and not long after that we ended up losing the Nook. So We also have at least one version of Angry Birds on here. I played it a little bit. Katie mostly played Angry Birds. I was not. It's Angry Birds Season is what's on here. She also downloaded chess on here, cut the rope, a little donut game, Dunkin' something. I can't tell from that. But I didn't play that very much. Well, apps. Okay. Then Katie liked to play Cut the Rope. I played Free Flow a pretty good bit. I think I ended up beating that as well. If you're not familiar with it, it's coming up. It always takes these things a while to load. It's, I'll just show you one. So where it has the dots and you have to connect the colors that are alike without crossing any lines. So that's fun. Okay, what else? Oh, and we have a logo game that I think I finally beat it. There were some hard ones on there. Logos quiz is what it's called. And it was really hard. I searched around online for a lot of these logos, and I don't know if I ever actually finished the hardest levels, because there are some really hard logos. A lot of them were international, and I had a hard time with that. I may revisit that one again. Okay, we had also a few magazines on here. I subscribed to National Geographic Kids for Katie, and also the one that was for younger kids. We got a few issues of that. I got a few Oprah magazines, and I had a sample of the Country magazine. I used to get that in print, and that's a really good magazine. So that was all that I ever got in the way of magazines. And I guess that's about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything I forgot. Katie, some things that she played, Ice Age Village, Fashion Icon. I have a version of Hangman on here. A jigsaw puzzle. Oh, I found a Meadows jigsaw, so that's on here. Minesweeper. I used to play Minesweeper on the computer a lot. I have a version of Minesweeper, and then oh, Katie had Mini Piano. She used to play that. My Little Pony. Oh, Pinterest. You know, I have not been on Pinterest in ages because I always did Pinterest from my Nook. So I'm going to have to go back and review what all I had on my Pinterest. I had pinned a lot of little free libraries, and I forget what all. So, oh, I'm excited about that, about reactivating my Pinterest account. And once I can remember what my password is, I'll probably pick that up on my phone too, so that I can have it there. But that's about it. So anyway, things I'm most excited about are Where's My Water, Pinterest, the Shape Builder puzzle for my daughter Emily, and being able to finish A Time to Heal, the Amish book, and what else? Some organizing books. So I'm excited that I have found my Nook. I think that the Nook store is affiliated with Barnes & Noble, so I could probably get different books on here than I can get on my Kindle. Maybe some of the same, I'm sure, but probably some different ones. I can't do audiobooks on here, unfortunately, because the speaker is broken. My volume buttons are pushed in, and I had dropped it once and kind of broke. There's some big cracks here in this corner where the volume is, and then the bottom here is also cracked. So you know, I can't use the volume. I can't control the volume, but I can at least turn it off and on. And I can't find my original charger, but I did find a Samsung charger that fits it. So I've been able to charge it up at least, because it was, you know, it was long dead, and I was excited that I was able to get it charged up at all. So, so that's what's on my Nook. I hope that you found this interesting. I hope I didn't ramble on too much, but I'm excited to be able to read on here again and have a couple of options for ebooks and apps and everything like that. So that's all I have for this video. I will be coming back with you soon with my November, Nonfiction November TBR, and I'm not sure what else I'm going to do between now and the end of the month. I have managed to do a video every day in October, which is Veto, but a couple of them in the middle of the month didn't actually get posted until a little after they were supposed to, because I didn't realize that I had it set on private. So I did actually get those videos done and up. They were just set to private until a couple of days later. So I'm happy with my Veto so far. And of course, you know, I don't expect all of you, or even most of you, or even really any of you, to watch all of them, but I just had a lot of things I needed to catch up on. I caught up with my tags that I needed to do, and a lot of the Sunshine State books I needed to review, and things like that. I still have some wrap-ups from the summer, the books I read in the summer, so maybe I will still tackle those, even if it takes me on until into the month of November. But my birthday's coming up. I should have a birthday book haul sometime in early November, and with that being said, I'll let you go, and I hope to talk to you soon. So I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.